Welcome back again to the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. So in about few minutes, we will be good to start with this prestigious event. So before that, I am requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable. And also please consider moving forward and filling out the vacant chairs in the front side. So once again requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable so that in about few minutes we will be good to start with the third day sessions for the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, which is happening from 23rd of January till 26th of January. So once again requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable. And also please consider moving forward and filling out the spaces, the vacant spaces in the front row. Thank you so much. The International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. The theme is nothing but uniting the world of sports, uniting sports globally through innovation, and this is India's pioneering hybrid Global Sports Summit. It is with great vision and hope that the state of Kerala is introducing the concept of a sports, fitness and wellness economy, an all-encompassing initiative. The aim has been to lead the state sports sector to a new awakening, leveraging the advantage and true potential of Kerala in the field of sports is the best idea for making it happen. Once again, welcoming everyone to the International Sports Summit in the beautiful state of Kerala 2024. So, requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable. In about 5 minutes, we will be good to start with the first session for the day under International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. Thank you so much. So once again, requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable, and also please consider moving forward and filling out the vacant round tables in the front row. Requesting those who are available at the back side to please consider moving forward and filling out the vacant round tables in the front row. In about 5 minutes, we will be good to start with the first session for the day, and once again requesting those who are available in the back side to please consider move forward and filling out the vacant round tables in the front row so that we can start the first session for the day. Once again, kindly requesting those who are available at the back row to please consider moving forward and filling out the vacant round tables in the front row. In about 5 minutes, we will be good to start with the first session for the day. Our esteemed guests, dignitaries, and all the participants are here with us today, and we are extremely honored to have each one of you with us here to embark on a journey to explore the dynamic landscape of international sports. So, to start the first session for the day, we humbly request everyone to please consider moving forward and filling out the vacant chairs and the round tables in the front row. Please consider this as a humble request from our side to please be settled down and be comfortable, and also consider moving forward and filling out the vacant chairs and the round tables in the front row. In about sharp 5 minutes, we will be good to start with the first session for the day in the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ellavarkkum namaskaram. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you to the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. My name is Sri Lakshmi Sajeev and it is my honor to be the host for this prestigious event. Today we gather here to celebrate the spirit of sportsmanship, unity and the global impact of athletics. Our esteemed guests, dignitaries and all the participants are here with us today, and we are extremely honored to have each one of you with us here today to embark on a journey to explore the dynamic landscape of international sports. As we all know, throughout this day, we will be engaged in a lot of insightful discussions, conversations and conferences. So once again, it is our pleasure welcoming each one of you to the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, which is happening from the 23rd of January to the 26th of January. So can I please request everyone to please give a light round of applause so that we can start the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024 Day 3. So it's high time that we move on to the first session for the day. To officially start with the first session for the day on the topic Sustainable Sports Development, it is our pleasure to welcome onto the stage Dr. Joy Ellerman onto the stage, please. Welcoming Dr. Joy Ellerman, Director General, KELA, who will be chairing the session. Welcoming Dr. Joy Ellerman onto the stage, please. Next, it is our pleasure to welcome onto the stage Sri Amit Sinha, IPS, Principal Secretary, Uttarakhand, National Gold Medalist, Masters Wrestling. Welcoming you, sir, onto the stage. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Srimati Ranjini Liza Verghese, CEO, Right Canvas, GRI Certified Harvard Business School. She will be the moderator for the session. Heartily welcoming Srimati Ranjini Liza Verghese onto the stage, ma'am. Next, it is our pleasure welcoming Sri Jason Jose, founder, SMI Foundation, onto the stage, please. Welcoming you, sir, onto the stage for the session on Sustainable Sports Development. Next, it is our pleasure welcoming Sri Kinoshita, President, Kenan International Education Academy, Japan. Welcoming sir onto the stage, Sri Kinoshita, President, Kenan International Education Academy, Japan. And also, along with him, I would love to welcome his translator, MP Singh. Welcoming you, sir, onto the stage, Mr. MP Singh. Next, it is our pleasure welcoming Sri Rishikesh Joshi, founder, Sports for All, onto the stage for the session, Sustainable Sports Development. Welcoming Sri Rishikesh Joshi, founder, Sports for All, onto the stage, please. Next, welcoming Sri Hitesh Joshi, co-founder, Stealth Startup. Heartily welcoming Sri Hitesh Joshi, co-founder, Stealth Startup. Next, it is our pleasure to welcome our session leader, Sri Madhu, President, DSC Wayanad, onto the stage, please. Welcoming Sri Madhu, President, DSC Wayanad. Welcoming sir, onto the stage, please. Next, it is our pleasure welcoming our session coordinator, Dr. KP Manoj, onto the stage and handing over the session on Sustainable Sports Development to our session coordinator, Dr. KP Manoj.
Good morning, everybody. A warm welcome to you all. On the third day of this International Sports Summit, I would like to welcome you all. That's the duty assigned to me. I'm not mincing words. I just come on to the duty assigned to me. Sustainable sports development, that's the theme of this session. And we have eminent personalities, academicians also on the stage. And I hope you will have a fruitful session over here. And you will be enriching your knowledge on these aspects with regard to development of sports in a very sustainable manner, looking into the social, economic and environmental factors without hindering anybody, anything on the universe, living and non-living things. First, I come on to the duty assigned to me. First, I would like to welcome the chairperson of this session, none other than Dr. Joy Elaman, Director, KERALA, Trichur. The moderator of the session is Srimati Renchini Lisa Varghese, Oxford SDG Fellow. I welcome you, ma'am, onto the stage. We have eminent personalities over here. We have Mr. Amit Sinha, IPS. He is a special private secretary, sports, government of Uttarakhand, India. We have one international delegate, or a resource person rather, Sri Kinoshita, President CAN International Education, Japan. I welcome you, sir. Next we have Sri Jason Jose, founder SMI Lifestyle Federation, Mumbai. I welcome you, sir. Sri Rishikesh Joshi, founder Sports for All from Mumbai. I welcome you, sir. Next we have Hitesh Joshi. Hitesh Joshi, associated with India Kelo Football, associated with India Kelo Football. I welcome you, sir. The leader of this session is Sri Madhu, the president of Wayanad District Sports Council. I welcome you, sir. And in a single sentence, I would like to welcome everyone present over here and hope you will have a fruitful session interacting with the resource persons over here. I, on behalf of the Government of Kerala, on behalf of the Sports Council, on behalf of the Directorate of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Kerala, and on my personal behalf, I welcome everyone, including the friends from the press also, to this session. I now hand over the session to the chairperson, who will be moderator, right? Okay. Okay, the moderator will start with inviting the resource persons over here. I now welcome Srimati Renchini Lisa Varghese to take over charge of this session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, everyone. Sports in sustainability is a pretty new subject for India per se, I would say, because when we speak about sustainability, we normally speak about segments like manufacturing and all other polluting segments. But trust me, it is not a new initiative. Globally, there are federations, clubs, sports events, which has already gone in the sustainable way. The best example to quote is the 2020 Olympic, where Japan has shown us how an event can be conducted as a sustainable sports event. We are talking about more than 4 lakh of organizations which is present in the sports segment. We have more than 15,000 of clubs, federations over the globally. We have more than 50,000 events conducted globally in a year. This means we as a sports segment is generating a lot of carbon footprints, and we need to address that. It also is not a simple or a easy task because sports is integration of different, involvement of different departments, segments, infrastructure. So it's not an easy way or an easy task when you talk about sustainability in sports. UN Sports for Climate Change has been formulated in 2015. There are 270 signatories in UN at this point of time, which is probably more than 0.5% of the 4 lakh organizations or 4 lakh people we are talking about. In the sports segment, we have almost 1 billion people, athletes globally. When it comes to India, the numbers could be less, but numbers could be in percentage of 1 billion, but that is also a sizable number. And sports events in India is growing. So we need to look at integrating travel, team, infrastructure, consumption of energy, water into the green space. How do you do it? How do you collaborate with each department, each city, each organizers to bring into the segment of green? Starting with, we all know about, green energy. The first thing which we talk about when you are talking about sustainability is how to integrate, adopt into green energy. Waste for the other segment. Sports events generate a lot of waste which needs to be addressed. Water, sports, like water is one major consumption for sports events. All these segments needs to be addressed. So that is why today we are talking about sustainability in sports, which is a growing concern, plus it's a growing branch. I would request the chair to now take over.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and good morning to the first session of the third day of the conference. First of all, let me thank the ISSK organizers for inviting me to be part of this. I do not want to take too much time because we are all packed with speakers. To start with, I was just trying to refer to this topic of the session, the sustainable sports development. And the first thing which I want to actually address, and I come from a different perspective probably, is that sports and sports development do not exist alone. It exists in the overall development of the country and the world. And when it becomes sustainable, when you talk about sustainability, naturally, we need to think about the sustainable development across the globe. And that is where probably we can actually start looking at things with a framework which has been globally accepted is the SDG framework, the Agenda 2030, where the Sustainable Development Goals, we have the 17 goals. Definitely, as we go through the 17 goals, we will find that sports is not specifically mentioned in the Sustainable Development Goal in that way, goals in that way. We have the 17 goals. But as I started, the sports cannot exist in itself, and the development cannot exist without sports. And in that way, if you look at the 17 goals, and actually we put sports into that framework, we find that there are a lot of interlinkages. Whatever happens in the development world has something to do with sports, and whatever needs to be done through the sports and for the sports have something to do with overall development. We have the goal number 1, SDG 1, it's about poverty. And you just have to think, if you don't address the issue of poverty globally, what is the role of sports in our agenda? I don't go by goal, but goal number 3 is all about health. And good health and well-being. It's not just health, it's also well-being. And if you start thinking about this, we just have to see, all the speakers and others have to start thinking, how does it actually clearly fit in? The sports and the goal number 3, you can't actually take it out and in. It is all there. So that is there. And then it is actually, the goal number 4 is all about quality education. And our sports grows through education process, education system, and it also contributes back. So naturally that comes in. But then for all our sports managers and sports people and all others, let's also think about goal number 5. That's actually about gender equality. And how does that fit in? How can we have sports without considering the gender equality within sports? Within sports management, within sports agenda, within sports administration. And it's all about talking about sustainability. And if you don't talk about gender equality within the system, you can't have a sustainable sports development. This is how I consider some of these things in the framework of SDGs and the Sustainable Development Goals. And if you go through the Sustainable Development Goal 6, it is also about clean drinking water and sanitation and other things, and see how it is related to our own thing. But then when it comes to the goal number 7, it's also about clean energy and affordable energy. And that is where the moderator also started talking about it, how the sports management and the sports system can actually address this issue of clean energy. When we have all of programs, we all have our sports events, how can actually think about clean energy, because that actually is one of the factors which leads all of us to sustainability. So we can't ignore the goal number 7, it's all about clean energy. And the 8th one is actually about decent work. Decent work and also about economic growth. Just start thinking how sports can be sustainable, sports development can be sustainable without this goal. The sustainable development goal, that is about decent work and the economic growth. So that is the goal number 8. And then the 9 is actually about innovations, industry and infrastructure. I don't want to explain one by one. Just think. I was just trying to get this perspective into your mind when you all start thinking about the future of sports and the sports sustainability, development sustainability. Just start thinking how the changes in industry, innovation field and also in infrastructure, including the sports infrastructure, how does it actually contribute? And the 10th one is all about reduced inequalities. And every country, every place needs to actually start thinking about, if you want to have a sustainable sports development, naturally the society has to be equality oriented, and so inequalities becomes an issue, and that is within the sports system as well as across the development sector. And then it's about sustainable cities and communities. Without the cities being sustainable, without the cities having the enough and adequate facilities and infrastructure and other things, and if the communities are not empowered to be part of all these things, we can see cities where sports is not at all an issue. Sports is outside the realm. But then how we can actually bring in this element into this is also getting in. So I am just going by one just to put an idea that, and the 12th one is all about responsible consumption and production. Again, every event you have, every sports events you have, everyday sports you have, just think about sustainable consumption. That's where we are. Because if you want to be in a sustainable development, sports development, all are things like that. Then it's also about climate action. That is the other one. And in fact, these all have co-benefits. You might be thinking only about sports, but whatever you do in sports has actually leading to some other co-benefits. When you are into sports events, naturally it's actually contributing to health. That is goal number 3. It's contributing to education. It is contributing to various other factors. So these are all interlinkages which one needs to understand. So I don't want to go one by one, but as I said, we have all these kinds of interlinkages, and probably if some of you can actually think about sustainability in sports development in the framework of sustainable development goals, that would actually contribute a lot to a new perspective in dealing with sports development. Especially, we have around 169 goals, 169 targets, and so we can actually think what are the things which you can actually, in fact, you can actually have an exercise on, actually, we did localizing of SDGs, where every village can actually think about SDGs in this framework. Like that, the sports people who are around, we can actually think about putting all these things in the sports framework, SDGs and sports framework. What are the indicators? Because just by saying we are going in for sports development, sustainable sports development, but let us be clear on a framework where we have clear indicators how to measure what we are achieving to maintain sustainability, and then also see how sports can be included in one by one, and then see how this can be happening. So this is how I put the framework in before you. As this conference evolves, please start thinking about putting these things into a framework where there are clear targets, clear goals, probably putting it into the framework of the global sustainable development goals. And here in Kerala, just to, especially with because in the afternoon we have the local government session in the afternoon, but still I would say every panchayat in Kerala, every municipality in Kerala are trying for at least one playground in the village. That's a new thing. And the new thing which is also coming is about happiness parks and happiness index, where every local government is planning to have happiness parks, because all these things finally should lead to happiness, and happiness index and happiness parks are going to be where what we are trying to mix and bring is actually all the places which are now supposed to be garbage places, the public places where all this garbage is put, all are getting cleaned, and those are actually being made into happiness parks, where you have the open gym or the gardens and all kinds of things come. So we actually create a local sports culture and happiness culture which we bring in. And so finally, when I conclude, I would actually say that start thinking about localization of sports sustainability and sports, because as long as sports do not exist at the local level, you don't have a sustainable sports development. So I would suggest that we all need to work closely with the local governments, rural and urban, and also see how it can be. Here again, Kerala, the organizers here would actually tell you, we have actually created sports councils in every village. The new thing which has come in is that every village has a sports council. So the point which finally I conclude is that we need to be local, get localized, so that there is sustainability in sports development. So I think I actually put a framework before you. You can actually take it, start thinking. At least a couple of you actually start working on sustainable development goals and sports sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joy. You have touched on some of the crucial points when we talk about sustainable sports development. I'll come back to you. Now I invite Mr. Takue Kinoshita, President CAN International Education, for your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Takui Kinoshita from Kana International Education Academy. I'm from Japan. I'd like to personally thank you for the opportunity to invite me over. Today, I will talk about the theme of sustainable sports development from an education perspective. We believe that we can offer new possibilities through Japanese language education to those involved in sports. So today I would like to give you a brief introduction about our school and our future with Kerala. Our Kanan is a Japanese language school education group based in Tokyo, Japan. We are also to provide support students to enter Japanese university and support institute, graduate school, and sports management course in Japan. We also offer guidance on job searching, developing on their future plan. We are aiming at nurturing students to take professional course from our institute. Now I'm going to tell you about 4 education programs currently operated in our school. Number 1, Overseas Students Education Program. We accept short-term and long-term overseas students for up to 2 years. Number 2, Online Education Program. We are providing 3 types of online lessons to people worldwide. Number 3, Local Japanese Language Education Program. We have set up overseas Japanese language schools in China and Vietnam. Number 4, Japanese Language Teacher Training Program. We have started a training course for people who want to become Japanese language teachers since 2023. More than 30 participants are now taking this course to be a professional Japanese language teacher. Here are the visions about what we can do to contribute to Kerala state. Firstly, we want to set up local Japanese language school with help Kerala state government. Excellent students can either choose to study Japanese at the local school or through our online lesson. Secondly, we wish to facilitate students, especially from sports background, to come to Japan for further education, and after they acquire some Japanese language skills, introduce them to Japanese company within for their employment. Students can get a big picture in head about Japan, about the world as well as themselves. They will get an overall global experience by studying abroad. After they graduate from Kanan, they can go on for higher education or just start working. Their rewards of working will be returned to Kerala. And Kerala in this way will develop and prosper more in the future. There are some listed number for you to know about Kanan. We are still developing and aiming to scale up to 2,000 overseas students enrolled by 2028 based on the plan. Now I'm going to tell about our 5 features that make Kanan special. Firstly, all of the Japanese language teachers in Kanan are highly qualified and well-performing. About JLPT, it is the most widely recognized Japanese language test and is carried on in 62 countries and districts worldwide. A current student get far better test results than the national average. Secondly, we are creating the rich study environment in Canaan. The IT technology facility are advanced. Thirdly, we are providing a variety of sports and cultural events. In Canaan, we are holding events 16 times a year. Fourthly, the team support is right behind your back. One student is supported by 3 teachers in Canaan. Fifthly, we focus on helping students for further education as well as job hunting. There are some examples of universities and graduate schools where our students successfully passed the entrance exam and got enrolled. You can see the famous university or graduate school in Japan. A current student also succeed in job hunting. Next, let me introduce the surrounding environment of our school. Maybe you have seen it before. I talk about Kerala and Canaan have some common things. I like Kerala. Nature good, person is good. Kerala is known as a water paradise surrounded by rivers and ocean. Actually, located in Canaan is also known as a watercolor city with rivers and ocean passing through. What is more, the neighboring streets and the popularity by many Indian people. Many Indian people in the neighbor came from South India. Also, we have some teachers have studied in India for a long time. We will continue and develop these programs at our best and see what it will be like 10 years later. We set up Canaan after school in Kerala that everyone can get opportunity to join an online course to learn Japanese language, get to know Japan. We aim to at reaching 10,000 students per year for Canaan online course. Those who cannot come to the classroom can also get the chance to learn Japanese in Japan in a way. We also aim to enrolling 2,000 Indian students to Japan every year. At last, we as a group having a strong desire to contribute to development of Kerala. We are the only one that endeavor to offer the best conditions for study and life to everyone in Kerala. I'm confident to say no one is better than us to do this. Please work with us to make this happen. We hope to work with Kerala state government to create this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kinoshita. Now I welcome Jason Jose, founder SMI Lifestyle Federation, to do the presentation.
Hello, check. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, good to hear response. Yeah, it's a sports summit, and sports is more enthusiastic for a lot of people. And I believe it should not be more like a lecture, and mine will not be a lecture. Hardly I'll take 5 to 6 minutes. I'll just explain the examples, how it's been done, because we have done this through our organization. So we are a sports NGO. We are a unique sports NGO from Mumbai. So train, build, transform. So our aim is to build good character through sports. So this is who we are. So before I proceed, I want to thank God that He's given me this opportunity. Thank the Kerala government, CM Pinarayi Vijayan, our Sports Minister Abdul Rahman, and all the respected dignitaries present here. So our declaration for this sports development, sustainable development. So the initiatives outlined in the presentation aligns with the principles of sustainable development by focusing on character development through sports, reaching out to underprivileged communities and providing ongoing support. SMI contributes to the social, economic and environmental aspects of sustainable development. The emphasis on education, health and breaking addiction habits further reinforces the holistic and long-term approach to making a positive impact on individuals and communities. So we are the unique sports NGO in the whole country whose aim is to build good character through sports. We are located in Mumbai, and we focus on underprivileged children, including those in the red light area. So our journey, we have positively impacted 143 lives till date in Mumbai, spanning over areas, Kalwa, Bhandup, Ghatkopar and many other areas through our sports mentoring initiatives. So our approach is infusion of skills and character, we give them access to sports facilities for regular trainings like turfs. So our upcoming project, seeing what we do, our upcoming project is with the juvenile homes, that's children's prison, and the government homes where the victims are rescued. So basically we want to target these children in the juvenile homes, those are the first comers. Basically, at the spur of the moment, they might have done something and they might come in the jail. So we want them to, we want to work in them, build their character, and we don't want them to come back again in that juvenile homes. So these are some of the benefits as we do for the children and young people who's participating in our SMI's character building program. They learn to value life. They inculcate respect towards people. Because where we work with, these are crime infested areas, some are drug addicts, some are cigarette addicts, a lot of these things. Developing conflict resolution skills. This is something what we all lack. We normally, as a mature person, we don't see a person and the problem separately. We actually club it together and throw that person out of our life. That's not a mature way to solve a conflict. You have to see the person and the problem separately. Solve the problem. That person you still need to value, still need to respect. That's what they've been trained on to do it. Leading a healthy lifestyle by eating on time, sleeping on time, and following healthy habits. Being responsible and accountable. So the changes are happening in them only when you accept a mistake. So we have a general tendency, we may not accept our mistakes. That's where the problem is. The moment you accept, the change begins there. You will try to change yourself. Cultivating a dedicated approach towards completing tasks, like if anything needs to be done. So if I tell you I'll contact you and I forget, that's something what I'm actually lying. But I'll have to make sure that I contact you, so I'll have to remind myself. So something what they do to complete each and every task, how to complete it, stuff. Overcoming addictions and bad habits, smoking, drugs, etc. Stopping the use of foul languages, that is, we use a lot of abusive languages when we talk, so it doesn't benefit anyone. Honoring and obeying parents and teachers, they have learned this. And valuing education and attending school regularly. Because of these programs, they started going to school. So couple of testimonies. This is one of the boy who's a 12-year-old. His name is Azhar. Name is changed. I was addicted to drugs and cigarettes. I was not regular at school and I did not obey my parents. After participating in the games, I learned SMI's basic rules which had to be applied in the game and in my life. Now I have stopped using foul language. I am more regular at school and my mother is very happy with my progress thanks to SMI. This is one testimony. Second one is from Salman, name change, 17-year-old. I used to hang out with people who practice bad habits and encouraged me to follow them. After playing sports through SMI, I have continually progressed by giving up many of my bad habits. My mother is very happy now. Even when I go out to study with a friend, she doesn't say anything, unlike earlier when she used to never allow me to go outside. I still remember an incident. I was with sir when upon seeing an accident on the road, he stopped the car and we all started helping people who were in the accident. I felt good about helping. SMI has taught me to value life and help others. Thanks to SMI, I've met a lot of national, international, Olympic, world champions and world record holder level people and was trained through them. So these are some incidents where we were traveling, we stopped the car when we saw an accident. Normally we don't do that. So when we did, we helped those people. So they were very happy to see those things. This is from a girl, a testimony. 15-year-old Ashia, name changed. After I started playing sports, I became interested in excelling in it. I became regular in the community games. I stopped using foul language as SMI taught me that it doesn't benefit anyone and eventually spoils my mouth. I started respecting people and say sorry often if others feel bad or misunderstand me. Seeing the changes in me, I was selected for the professional sports facility games, but my parents didn't approve. Sir came to my place at the top of the hill, spoke to my parents and convinced them. Now I am regular at coaching sessions thanks to SMI. One last girl's testimony. Trupti, name changed, 13-year-old. Hello, I'm Trupti. I live in the periphery of the red light area in the largest Sonapur community with my mother, father, younger sister and grandmother. Despite facing challenges like my father's alcoholism and financial difficulties, I'm managing well. At the age of 13, I found solace and purpose in our football training program. With determination and support, I progressed from level 1 to level 3 and even became the captain of my team in sports tournament. This transformation reflects not just my dedication, but also the positive impact of sports in my life. So, this is what we do and these are some requirements currently what we deal with, monthly donations, providing children a place to play professional sports, supplying jerseys, bibs, to football turf shoes, volunteer support, doctors and physiotherapists and a lot of other stuff. So this is who we are and this is what we've been doing in sustainable sports development. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Now I invite Ritikesh Joshi, founder, Sports for All, for the presentation.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, thank you so much for having me here. Since we're talking about sustainability in sports development, I'll kind of touch upon that topic. I don't have a presentation. I made one yesterday evening. I would kind of, while we look at sustainability in sports development, I think it requires to have really, really strong foundations across our sports. Firstly, needs to have a very strong foundation. The economy of sports, the economics of sports need to have a very strong foundation in our country before we actually, talk about sustainability. Because across the ecosystem at this point in time, India is still finding its feet. To become a sporting nation. I think with the 2036 Olympics that are being talked about very, with a lot of intent, I think over the next 12 to 15 years, we will really need to develop extremely sustainable sporting ecosystem for us to, even be able to make all the use of the infrastructure or the other peripheral development that will happen across, the Olympics. And I think thereby a sporting culture starting at the very, very early stages of every young, child's life is going to be super crucial. And through enabling access, through enabling equality, through enabling transparency in sport from the very early stages of any athlete's life, I think we can educate them as well through, of all the sustainable goals that Sir was talking about. And other than that, I think Kerala is an extremely vibrant state in India, and with over 12,500 schools across Kerala, government schools, aided schools, unaided schools. I think the sports culture can start here, and while the educational literacy of the state is, everyone knows about, the high levels of education literacy about the state. I think probably one of the finest states to be able to educate young children about sustainability in sport development as well. Other than that, I don't have much to say, but if anyone has a question to ask or anything of that sort, more than happy to, share my thoughts around it. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritikesh. Now I call upon Hitesh Joshi, India Khelo Football, for the presentation.
Hello everyone, good morning. This topic per se, sustainable sports development, is a very vast topic, and it's a very new to the Indian sports ecosystem, because currently in India, we are still trying to develop sports. Sustainability is something which has a long way to come around it. But it is something which is also the most neglected part of our sports models. So for any sports to develop, there are two things which are required. First is demand. There has to be people who are playing that sport. But the second important thing is the model per se has to be sustainable. It has to include everybody. Otherwise, any sport model does not develop in a long term. I'll give you examples to it. India per se, it is very well known fact, even Dhirubhai Ambani used to say that India is a supply hungry market. All you need is a right fit for the Indian audience. And specifically in sports industry, we have seen in last so many years, many new sports model coming up. Many sports leagues are actually started thriving, like Kabaddi. You have Kho-Kho, you have Panja. Rather, just yesterday I came to know there is even a three-wheeler racing which is a sport over here. So if you provide a right fitment, the demand is already there within the Indian ecosystem. But what the problem is that demand only sustains you on a short-term basis. If the whole model is not sustainable, you cannot grow on a long-term basis. The sports will not develop for years and centuries to come. Now we'll go deeper into both of the aspects along with examples. Now specifically for sustainable development, the most glaring example is for Indian football. Now there is demand which is known, which is like everybody knows there are millions of people who play football. There are sevens which is going on in Kerala and thousands of people participate in that. There are cups, which is a Bengal version of sevens, which happens in West Bengal, and thousands of people, the whole economy basically thrives around that during the season. So there is demand. Then what happens for the sport at the country level? The whole problem is the model per se is not sustainable. I'll give you very recent examples. So India played Asian Cup and we lost. There was a lot of outrage around it. Then we realized that we don't have an Indian striker to replace Sunil Chhetri. Now this is not the fault of the coach, it is the fault of the model that we are currently following in Indian football. You don't have ISL clubs hiring Indian strikers, since last so many years, and foreigners are being brought to play as a striker. What will a striker sitting in Trivandrum feel about the role? So the problem is, if you don't give them enough confidence that there is a pathway for you to play for an ISL club later on as a striker, the whole ecosystem, it starts from top and it trickles down to the grassroots. The second important thing is, we don't have Indian coaches being employed by ISL clubs, and suddenly apart from Khalid Jamil, you don't have anybody over there, and the whole Indian coaches ecosystem is neglected, and then we say we don't have good enough coaches because there's not even more focus has been put up for the education of Indian coaches. So what does sustainable model looks like? This is something I'm just putting up the problems, but what does the sustainable model looks like in a sport? There are three specific things which has to be done in a model when you prepare it, and that can only happen at a policy level. First and foremost, it has to include everyone. How to enter, what to do, and where will I end up? If these three things are answered within the model for each of the stakeholder in the complete value chain, then automatically you will see millions of people participating or coming forward towards that sport. I'll just give you an example with respect to the Indian players. In Indian football, there are only 8 to 9 states where some form of grassroots football happens. What it translates to, that only 8 to 9 states, the students know that there is an exam where they can go and showcase how a good player I am. And hence there is some possible means for them to get spotted. But what happens to the rest of the states where there is absolutely no grassroots football which happens? It completely alienates those states and those districts right from the grassroots level, and the result shows because you don't get players later on from those specific states and cities. A very glaring example is, there is absolutely no, you look at Hindi heartland, no trials, no grassroots football happens. There is no exam. If there is no exam, there is no coaching center. If there is no coaching centers, you don't have participants coming forward to play football. They don't know where to enter, what to do, and how to reach to the top where they will end up with. We in India Khelo Football, we were the first one post-independence to conduct a 2-day trial in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And in 1960s, we had Olympians, participants coming from those islands. Because in tribal areas, their genetic structure is different. We were the first one to actually go to Ladakh, to go to Leh, to go to Kargil, to actually hunt players from 13 to 17-year-olds. And this is not something which I'm saying out of the blue at a part of a speech. We have experienced this. In Bihar, there was absolutely no grassroots football which was happening. There was no academies. We went on year 1, we got only 60 players. We told them we'll come back again even if we get 10 players. The next season, we had academies over there, we got 200 players. The third season when we went, we got 350 players, and we got players who are currently being looked up by ISL and I-League clubs. So that model has to show confidence, and that can only come by being inclusive in nature. The next thing that happens is, when it is inclusive and it reflects confidence that I know what to do, how to enter, and when I will end up with, then millions of people, millions of students and their parents will allow their kid to take up that sport in a more serious manner professionally rather than just only taking it up as a hobby. When those millions of players come, you have a large pool to select from. Only small percentage of people participating become professional players, which is a global fact across every sport. But at least everybody else should have that confidence later on in their life that I had a right platform and I had my chance to become a professional player. In the absence of that, the model will simply collapse in 5 years or in 10 years. Last but not the least, what I want to, with my closing remarks is, in order for sports to develop, it has to be sustainable. If it is not sustainable, the sport will never die, because there will be people who love the sport and they will keep it alive via their passion. But if we have to if we have to develop we have to develop any sport across decades and across centuries, the model has to be sustainable, it has to be inclusive, and at the end it should exude confidence, which will only come when you show examples of that model via execution in short term and then in long term. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Hitesh. Now I call upon Amit Singha, IPS, Principal Secretary, Sports Affairs, Uttarakhand.
Good morning. As a government official, I think I can understand it's a very sustainable concept, is a very late entry into our whole thinking process. We have this habit of saying that don't pollute, use sustainable materials, do away with the garbages, but generally we don't follow. Why? Because our criminal justice system is actually not helping it. Somewhere we have to make rules and then enforce those rules. We have to create, as government, we have to first make rules so that sustainability becomes a cheaper model. See, sustainability as such cannot be cheaper. But this thing has to be told to people that cheap is not only money, it is the mindset, it is the way of living, it is our thinking process, how we are catering to our future. I mean, this whole mathematical model has to be told. It has to be, I mean, through schools, as someone said that how schools can be very useful in telling about sustainability. In Uttarakhand, when I was director of IT department, I started this e-waste collection. Earlier, all our e-waste computers and other things, they used to be weeded off, sold to the garbage collectors. So I started collecting 50 computers, 60 computers, and out of those 50 computers, used to make 2-3 good computers and then gave them to schools. And with the rest of the computers, we created a e-waste park. So that e-waste park became a place for awareness, awareing students how these repurposed e-waste articles can be made into a beautiful artifacts so people can come and see those things. So it is about forcing our citizen to understand the value of sustainability, and we also have to think about the blind copying of Western model of sustainability, because we are living in a country where we generally don't harness heat, rather we dissipate heat in our sports complexes. So we have to do away with these things, and we have to come with novel solutions of using local materials in creating our sports infra. Rather, in what we have planned, that we will be promoting more grounds than pavilions. I mean, if we have no other opportunity than to create something, then we'll go on only for flattening the ground. If we can make some visitor stand, then come with a visitor stand which has a solar panel on the top, or some garbage collection material, or some portable septic sewage treatment plant, something like that. So these things can be thought of. I mean, as government, only I can say that our role is very difficult to create some model, to create some rules where it's not very costly also, and it also appears cheaper to the producer, to the user, and so that they can understand the value of sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amit Sinha. Before I open the forum for question answer, I want to wrap up what have been discussed here. Once sports connects people, it is easy or more convenient to use sports personalities as an influencers to drive sustainability among people. That means awareness. till now what was happening was like sports is all about people and profit. Now it has to be people, profit and planet. So how do we start? Where do we start? It starts from all the events we conduct. We include green element into sports events. How do we do it? We incorporate elements like green energy. We incorporate elements like usage of recycled water. We incorporate elements like rainwater harvesting for the use of the fields and so on and so forth. The other major points which I want to make is like the use of plastic. We see a lot of plastic bottles around. We see a lot of plastic waste being generated after every event. So green means you have to move away from plastic. So how do we do it? So from people, profit to planet, we should look at partnership. We should look at profiling green as a key element. We should look at power governance. Means you should bring in more efficiency into conducting the events, and participation. Participation means from all stakeholders. It could be your sports personalities, your sportswear suppliers, your branding agencies, your sports clubs. Every stakeholder has to be a participant. Now, our chair spoke about circularity. Bringing element, taking sports to the grassroots level, into the panchayat level, creating more jobs and more participation. Yes, circularity in sports is key. Mr. Hitesh spoke about global, sustainable sports models. Yes, until and unless sports becomes sustainable as an entity, it will not be sustainable. But with a sustainable element integrated to it. Jason spoke about how you can actually bring in sustainable sports among people and bring in change into children's habits and bring them from backward areas to the mainstream. So these are the points which we are taking from this panel to panels with us. Now I open the floor for question answers, if you have any.
Good morning, everyone, respected dignitaries and the delegates. My name is Somashri Basu, and I'm a social worker and psychologist from West Bengal. First of all, thanks to Kerala government. Once again, Kerala has shown the way for the rest of the country with the International Sports Summit. And second of all, given you're talking about sustainable sports development, which is such an important topic right now, I would like to briefly introduce the work that I do. I represent Shrija India, an organization that empowers, educates and develops first-generation learning girls from rural background in West Bengal. Right now we're working with 90 villages and 700 girls, and our flagship program is football and beyond. So there is intense football training. Along with that, sports psychology, mental health workshops, nutrition, social and environmental awareness. Altogether, within 7 years, we have produced girls from grassroots who have represented India in the football team, district players, and they are doing really well in various sectors. Having said that, I would like to take this opportunity to state that we would be really happy, or rather privileged, if we are given an opportunity to work in Kerala as well. And I am sure that we're going to learn a lot from you as well, but this is a platform I would like to use for that. And another thing that all of you have correctly said, that I personally believe the SDG 17th goal, partnership for the goals, is the most important goal right now. And I really hope that we get an opportunity to work with all of you, learn from all of you, even the ones who are present here, and do something great for Kerala and for India as well in the sports sector. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request the audience to restrict to the questions alone, and all other things can be taken offline, please. Any other question?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amrita. I am a PhD researcher studying women's sports in Kerala. My question is for Jason. Jason sir, regarding your talk, right? So I'd like to know, it's a set of 3 questions actually. First of all, I'd like to know, could you elaborate a bit more as to what specifically are the indicators you use to measure positive impact in terms of character development for your students under your organization? And secondly, I'd like to know what's the funding structure? How do you financially sustain your NGO? And thirdly, what challenges, from your experience, what are the challenges you have faced as an NGO in this sector? If you could please briefly elaborate on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. To answer your first question, what we do is a daily thing. It's not like a normal NGO, weekly or monthly basis. It's a daily sports mentoring sessions, what we do with those children through sports. And it's investing time, investing a lot of, with compassion, passion, a lot of things. So when you're doing that, you're like a father figure to those children. And so that's something what a lot of children and the youths, they seek love, they seek someone to look at us as someone who could accept them. And we do that on a regular basis, and slowly and steadily we see those changes in them, and that's where the testimonies have come out. Second, to answer your question, funding, we've got 12A ATG, we're still a 1.5 years old, officially old organization. Currently it's supported by people like you. Some help us with the website, some help us with social media, some help us with kits, sports kits, and some. So there are no staff, there are 0 staff, a lot of volunteers who knows that there's a good work which is going on, and that's how we get support. Third one, what was your third one? Could you? No, there was.
The challenges?
Challenges.
Ongoing challenges.
Correct. So the challenge is, as I said, there was one of the girls' testimony where she was doing good and we were selecting her for the professional sports facility, the professional turf training practice. But then the place where we do this and the place she stays, it's a hill area. So we go to these areas. So to reach there, it's a 45 minutes walk for us, one way. So the challenge is to go there, be available when her dad is present, probably in the night when he comes back after his labor work. Talk to him, convince him, then tell him why is it important, because without their support, parent support, they will not be able to go ahead. So a lot of these challenges we face on a regular basis, and yeah, this is how it is. Thanks.
I'm Abdul Karim from Malappuram. I wish to know about the admission process of the Canaan Educational Academy.
Actually, the translator is attending another session in another venue. So, if you have any queries or any doubts with regard to this, kindly contact the resource person after this session, please.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
This is the time. Use every opportunity.
It was an enriching session discussing on sustainable sports development. As Mr. Hitesh Joshi has mentioned, when we talk of sports, sustainable sports development is something above that. Involving a lot more investment than sports development. Anyway, I am not mincing my words. I am not talking much on sustainable sports development. It's a vast area. Vast area. If we talk of it, it will take many sessions to conclude. If, as the chairman has mentioned, there are 7 domains. If we look into each domain, we have to discuss in detail each domain. Anyway, it is now time for honoring the resource persons who have come from various parts of India and abroad. I welcome the session leader, Sri Madhu, the president of District Sports Council, Wayanad, to give away the mementos as a token of love, affection and indebtedness from the part of government of Kerala to the resource persons. I now call upon Sri Madhu to give away the mementos. First, I would like to invite Dr. Joy Alaman, Director, Kerala Institute of Local Administration. Now I request the moderator, Srimati Renchini Lisa Varghese, Oxford STG Fellow, who has been the moderator for this session, to receive the memento as a token of love and affection. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Amit Sinha, IPS, Special Private Secretary, Sports Affairs, Government of Uttarakhand. Now I would like to welcome Sri Jason Jose, founder of SMI Lifestyle Federation, Mumbai, to receive the memento. Now I would like to welcome Rishikesh Joshi, founder Sports for All from Mumbai. Now I would like to welcome Sri Kinoshita, President CAN International Education from Japan. Now I would like to welcome Sri Hitesh Joshi, India Kelo Football, to receive the memento as a part of our gesture of gratitude for being here for this session. With this, we conclude. I would like to mention the vote of thanks in a single sentence on behalf of the Government of Kerala, on behalf of the Kerala State Sports Council, Directorate of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Kerala, and on my personal behalf and on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my heartfelt gratitude, indebtedness and happiness to all the resource persons who have been here for this session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So before that, a humble request from our side to the panel, if you're having any hard copies or soft copies of the presentation with you now, kindly hand over it to the documentation team. So before winding up, a humble request from my side to the panel, if you're having any hard copies or soft copies of the presentation with you, kindly hand over those to the documentation team. Thank you so much. So thank you so much everyone, and that was the session on sustainable sports development. And during the last 1 hour, as we listened to the discussions and conversations from the amazing panel on the particular topic, we could understand that as we explore the sports development, it is of utmost crucial to understand the new emphasis on sustainability. And also we are definitely moving beyond just the games to create a lasting legacy that benefits all the community. So once again, heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed guests and our distinguished guests for your views and your perspectives and your contribution to the topic sustainable in sports development. So once again, heartfelt gratitude to all our guests for that amazing session. So can I just request the audience to please give a light round of applause for this session, because why not? And now it's time to move on to the next session for the day, the second session, which will be on lessons from the leagues. So to start with the session number 2 officially, I would love to first of all invite Sri M.A. Baby Sir, Minister for Education, Government of Kerala, and he will be joining this session online. And we are definitely honored to have Sri M.A. Baby Sir online for this session. And next I would love to invite onto the stage Srimati Mekasri IAS, Director, SC and ST Department. Welcoming Sri Mekasri IAS, Director, SC and ST Department onto the stage. Next, it is our pleasure to welcome onto the stage Sri Matthew Joseph, CEO, Scoreline. welcoming Sri Matthew Joseph, CEO, Scoreline. Next, welcoming onto the stage Srimati Prerna Sharma, Director, 3BL. Welcoming Srimati Prerna Sharma, Director, 3BL. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Srimati Preta Acharya, Sports Journalist, MD, PR Solution. Welcoming Preta Acharya, Sports Journalist, MD, PR Solution. Next, it is our pleasure to welcome onto the stage Sri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki, Founder, UBL and No Scope Gaming. Welcoming onto the stage Sri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki, Founder, UBL and No Scope Gaming. Next, it is our pleasure welcoming onto our stage our session leader Sri Anil Kumar, President, DSC Pathanamthitta. Welcoming our session leader Sri Anil Kumar, President, DSC Pathanamthitta. Next, welcoming our session coordinator Dr. Raiza K.I. Welcoming our session coordinator onto the stage for the session Lessons from the League, Sri Dr. Raiza K.I. and handing over the session to you, sir.
Very good morning to one and all present here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we comes to the third day of this International Sports Summit Kerala 2024. And the second session of this morning, we have the topic Lessons from the Leagues that will be covered in this thematic session, and I think that a lot of discussions and deliberations will be there, mainly focusing on the marketing of sports and marketing through sports. I think that these are the main components of leagues. So how we can market a sports discipline and how we can market the products through the medium of sports. With this introduction, I have the great privilege and honor to welcome the dignitaries present on and off the dais. The chairperson of this function is Sri M.A. Baby. He will be addressing this gathering through online mode. The ex-Education Minister of Government of Kerala. On behalf of the all present here, I welcome Sri M.A. Baby to this August gathering. The moderator of this session is Madam Meghasri IAS, the Director of SC/ST Department, Government of Kerala. On behalf of all present here, I extend a warm welcome to Madam Meghasri IAS. The speaker of this function, Sri Matthew Joseph. He is the CEO of this Scoreline. I extend a warm welcome to Sri Matthew Joseph. The next speaker, Srimati Prerna Sharma, Director of 3BL. She will be presenting her views on lessons from the leagues. We extend a hearty welcome to Srimati Prerna Sharma. And other dignitary is Sri Preta Acharya. I extend a warm welcome to Sri Preta Acharya, sir. Sri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki, founder UBL and No Scope Gaming, will be addressing this gathering. I extend a warm welcome to Sri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki. And the session leader of this function is Sri Anil Kumar. I extend a warm welcome to Sri Anil Kumar. I request the chairman of this function, Sri M.A. Baby, to present his address to this gathering. Thank you. Sri M.A. Baby, sir, will be joining this session very soon. So at this point of time, I would like to hand over the mic to the coordinator of this session, Meghasri Madam, for the further proceedings. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable dignitaries on the stage and all the people present here. I wish you all a warm welcome. So, today's topic is lessons from global sports leagues. Before we open the forum for presentation from the dignitaries, I would like to have a brief introduction about the topic. So, learning from the global and Indian sports leagues involves adopting a holistic approach that encompasses fan engagement, revenue diversification, sustainability, youth development, and the integration of technology and culture. By incorporating these lessons, sports leagues can thrive in a dynamic and evolving landscape. Let us look at some of the examples. The English Premier League and the National Basketball Association have successfully created international fan bases through strategic online initiatives. This is a very good example of global fan engagement. Leagues like the National Football League in the US generate sustainable income through broadcasting rights, merchandise, and corporate partnerships. The Formula One's commitment to sustainability and carbon neutrality serves as an example, emphasizing the importance of environmental responsibility. European football leagues have excelled in nurturing young talent, contributing to the sustained success of their clubs and national teams. Leagues like the Major League Baseball in US have incorporated technology for advanced analytics, providing fans with deeper insights into the game. The Women's National Basketball Association serves as a model for promoting gender equality and creating opportunities for women in professional sports. Speaking about some of the examples in Indian sports leagues, the Indian Premier League is an excellent example for cultural integration, combining cricket with entertainment, music, and cultural elements, creating a unique and engaging experience for the audience. Leagues like the Indian Super League in football have contributed to the growth of the sport by investing in grassroots initiatives, nurturing young talent from an early age. The Pro Kabaddi League successfully rebranded and marketed Kabaddi, a traditional rural sport, as a modern and exciting league, attracting a broader audience. The influence of Bollywood and prominent personalities in the Pro Wrestling League has helped raise the profile of wrestling in India. The IPL's focus on creating a fan-friendly environment, both in stadiums and through digital platforms, has contributed to its widespread popularity. Leagues like the Pro Volleyball League are striving to elevate the status of sports other than cricket in India, creating platforms for athletes and increasing public interest. Initiatives like the Hero Indian Super Leagues are the programs for grassroots involvement and youth development that identify and nurture young football talent across the country. So with these examples, I would like to conclude by saying initiatives that are sustainable, initiatives that are inclusive, fan-centric, programs that have a grassroots approach which focus on cultural integration, innovation and adaptability, programs that focus on talent recognition and also focus on diverse revenue streams are some of the key lessons from the leagues. With this, I open the forum and let us hear from the honorable dignitaries on the stage. Thank you so much. I request Shri Matthew Joseph, CEO, Scoreline, for his presentation.
Morning, everyone. We had an opportunity yesterday also to speak about the contributions which we're going to make, the declarations which we made during the ISSK. Coming up with the stadiums and allied investments. So today I got a very interesting opportunity to speak on the learnings from the league. So basically, like when we thought of starting a league, we wanted to start a football league purely because, we got the rights for football in Kerala. So we conduct all formats of football right now in Kerala. Apart from that, we have a provision to set up the Kerala's official top tier league in the state. So when we started working on it, we realized that there are a lot of learnings which we can take from the world, and there are certain successful leagues. There are some leagues which have not done all that well. So we thought, we should go around the world looking at the leagues and learn the best practices out of that. Now, we realize that India has very few successful leagues. That's something which came up as a kind of a very big surprise to us, in the sense we thought many states would be doing many leagues, but when we looked at the numbers, we realized that there are very few successful leagues in India which is financially viable, both for the promoter as well as for the franchise owner or for the stakeholders in the company. So that was a bit of a worrying part. What we also realized is that something that works in cricket doesn't work in football, and likewise for many other sports also. So it's just not a copy-paste which can happen. Just because it's worked in cricket, it's going to work in football too. So another learning was what works internationally doesn't work nationally here in India. What works nationally doesn't work on a regional level. Even something which works on a regional level doesn't work, on a state level, it doesn't work on a district level. So it's so much of a hyper-local kind of an approach which you need to take to make a league successful, to have the right ingredients. So, that was another eye-opener for us, and we started working on that. So, designing a league is supposed to be highly creative. I feel that's my take, that it's a creative work, it's a very imaginative work, which needs a lot of inclusions from various parties, like the associations. Obviously, we need the academies to support. We need the players, the local players, to be there. We need the vendors to be there with us. So these are some of the key ingredients to make a league successful. Because the moment one of these agents are not present in the league, you will go through a rough patch sooner or later. Now I've got a small presentation, because this is something which I call it as the original league. There could be something which is more primitive than this also, but this is a typical photograph from the Gladiator movie. So that's what I call it as the original league. So the key learning I say here, as a league owner or anyone who wants to set up a league, what I feel is that if you can't win, then you become the dinner. And if you actually lose, if you actually win, you can have dinner with your family. And if you lose, you go on to become a dinner. That's true, because the moment there's something which goes wrong in a league, there are vendors, there are broadcasters, to sponsors, to the franchise owners, to the players, to everyone who would actually chase you up. So that's something which you need to all be careful about. That's our first learning. So let's not be the dinner. We need to have dinner with the family. So looking at the successful leagues, we came across about 5 or 6 successful leagues, and there are many of them. But in the world, we've taken about 3 most successful leagues, and also in India, some things some certain leagues which have been running successfully. Now, each of this has got a distinct characteristic. Why this is successful, I've touched upon a few key points. Like, when we come on to the English Premier League, one of the most successful leagues, this is a league which originated a few decades ago, but this it didn't have the digital presence then. It was more on the television. So the major contribution they got in terms of to become successful was the language. So the franca lingua, which is lingua franca, which is basically the most acceptable language. English is the most acceptable language. So this is one key factor. The language held this league together. And the people who, since English is the most followed language and the spoken language in the world, this kept people together to look at the football and come together on the television. Now, this league has got a very pro-business environment. They always attracted the best investors from the world. This is just one of the photographs. The Newcastle team is owned by Sheikh Salman, the ruler of Saudi Arabia. So they have been very inclusive. They have looked at investments. So it's just not the language side, the presentation which happened on the television, but the investors they attracted were major investors from the world. So that's one of the largest investors there. Sheikh Mansour again from Abu Dhabi. He's been another investor into the EPL. Why I'm saying this is because they have been inclusive. They have been looking at investments coming in to make this league into a next level altogether. He is the CEO of the EPL. Yeah, so basically, as I said, it's the marketing, the language, the pro-business approach, what EPL has adopted to make them where they are as on date. The next interesting case study is on La Liga. Why La Liga is La Liga? So, their approach was something called Galacticos. Now, Galacticos, they had a very clear approach that they are going to get the stars of the world to come and play there. No matter how much ever they cost, they would bring in the best stars to come and perform there in the stadium, which attracts a lot of fans, a lot of viewership across the world. So these are some of the people who have been playing. The second approach what they had is called tiki-taka. It's called the total football, where they play in triangles. And it's a very swift way of playing, a very calculative method of playing. This tiki-taka was actually popularized, and the La Liga entire league practices the total football concept. So that's been a differentiator. Now when you look at the EPL, they're very aggressive players. When you look at the La Liga, you have more creative playings happening. So that's the difference which people liked. That, this is something which is more geometrical, this is more pass-oriented, this is more team-oriented game. That's what this league promoted. Now the third very important thing, which right now India is also facing, the ISLs and a lot of other tournaments, they face this issue of the right umpiring. The right kind of umpiring, if it doesn't happen, it upsets all the fans to everyone. One of the classic cases 2 years back with what happened with the Blasters and another team. So the fans were upset, and we don't know whose mistake it was, or whether it was right or wrong, but yes, it did happen. So here what they practice is a very fair umpiring in the league, and there are red cards issued to the players if they do not adhere to the league rules. So this is something which is a differentiator again. So the La Liga has got such different approach to the whole league, and it's a very humanistic kind of a game what they play there. Now this is Pro Kabaddi from India. It's been very successful in the last few years. In fact, one of our board member, our advisor, board member, very close friend of ours called Charu Sharma, he was the one who set up this. In the last few years, Star TV has invested with them. They hold now 76% of Pro Kabaddi. The valuations are over 900 crores. I'm sorry, I think that broadcast right is more than 900 crores. The valuations could be much different. So that's been one of the most successful leagues. This is because it's a very television friendly kind of a sport. It can be, assembled together fast. It's an indoor stadium. It can be done together. It's very colorful. And the most important thing is that it's very intense. Players, the action doesn't stop. It's start to the stop, it's continuous. So that's actually keeping the people glued onto the television as well as the people who are in the stadium. So that makes a whole difference. And we've all played this kind of game while we were in the school. So that makes it very interesting for us to also look into it when it's happening on the television or in the stadium. Especially for Kerala or many parts of the country where the weather is pretty harsh, this sport actually helps being conducted. IPL has been a total success story. That's, I think, one of the best leagues in the country. The best, in fact, in terms of numbers. The last rights for IPL broadcast was at 47,500 crores, out of which the digital had contributed about 23,000 crores and 24,000 crores was by the television Star Sports. So that's a kind of a number, and each franchise has been valued more than about 2,800% on what they have invested, except for the new entrants like Lucknow. But the Mumbai or the Chennai teams, everyone's got a valuation of more than 2,800%. Now, obviously what added to their success is the glamour factor, but the biggest learning what I saw, it was not the Shah Rukh Khans or the Preeti Zintas who were there. It was a very simple thing which was introduced by the then management of BCCI, which accepted to do the cheerleaders. So that actually attracted a lot of people into the stadium, and from there on they built it. But obviously they have a lot of stars like Shah Rukh's and all the best actors of our country supporting the teams. So that itself makes it big. The other thing about IPL is that it comes with stars, because we've been seeing the Virat Kohlis, the Dhonis always playing. So they're already big stars for us. So when they're on the ground, there are a whole lot of people who would want to come and see. Unlike football or a volleyball or a kabaddi, where probably the faces are not recognized, they are emerging or budding stars. So that's one drawback which the other sports have got. In cricket, they have always got their advantage. Obviously, it's a television-friendly format, the T20, which became easy to watch, short duration. What we realize now is that shorter the game, people are looking into the televisions more, or on the mobile phones much more than looking at a 1-day or a 5-day match. This also had entertainment packed with it. The Indian Super League, obviously Kerala has been a major contributing factor, and the learning is that the fans can make the whole difference. They have been extremely inclusive about their fans. They have built up the 4th largest fan base in the world. It's the 12th largest social media followed sites. So the numbers are huge when you look at the ISL, because of the support from Kerala. So it's completely a passion-driven market. So there's a huge learning that you can't leave the fans alone and build a league yourself, which doesn't happen in the rest of the part of the country as of now for a league like this. Bundesliga, again another concept where they have worked with fans for 50% of their stakes are given out to the fans. It's owned by the fans. And 1%, the deciding share, is with the fan again. Not 1%, one share. whenever there is a tie, the fan decides the decision which way it has to be taken. So that's a very interesting model. So it's driven by the fans. So Saudi Pro League is another big success because of the stars what they have brought in. So in 6 months' time, they were like catapulted and into a different level altogether. Now, learnings from the league. This is something which we are launching now. By August 2024, Super League Kerala would be launched with 6 franchise team owners spread across Kerala. And that will expand. We will expand by the 3rd year to more locations. But year 1, season 1, that's starting this August, which goes up till about October. We will be having 6 franchisees contesting this this football league. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be the top league, the #1 league of Kerala. From here, they can grow into the second tier of I-League, and from there into the first tier of I-League, and then to ISLs, and the path is open. So we decided that we give out, it's a suggestion to the franchise owner. Finally, he is the one who has to take a call, but 25% of the equity will be held by the fans as of now. Second thing is, obviously, we have the patrons like the film stars from Kerala industry who support our league, and the team owners, because anyway the glam factor always helps in pulling the people into the stadium. Because we've realized one thing: the moment your stadiums are full, you have a happy sponsor, you have a happy broadcaster, you have happy players. So it's very important to keep the stadiums full. And we also wanted to get in with the concept of the tiki-taka total football. That's how we have tied up with Andres Iniesta, who is one of the finest footballers in the world. He's a Spanish footballer, and Andres Iniesta has been a great supporter of Kerala Super League. He has also promised to come sooner or later one day to Kerala. He's really a big star, so and he's right now playing with the Emirates, the Emirates club right now in Ras Al Khaimah. He was in Japan before. The 4th implementation, what we're doing is a 360-degree engagement by people. So basically, we have it's an entertainment-packed stadiums, where we do the film launches, we have music shows, we have DJs. So all that thing which helps the crowd come into the stadium. We are also having the veteran players as the front end of the league and the football club. We also have sister clubs like Boca, Benfica, and few other clubs which will do the front ending. As I mentioned, for a better fan experience. These are the sponsors we are looking at. And finally, what we realize is it should be something which is it should be a league which is owned by the people. Unless the ownership of people comes in, they will not, our league is not going to be successful. So that's the reason in the last 4 years, about 5 years now, we have trained over about 20,000 children. We have got 56 centers in the state, everyday training. Now we are committing ourselves with 8 new football stadiums, because unless the stadiums are there, there would not be enough of a place to practice or to have matches. So this is something which we are doing it for the people, so that they all become a part of the league. So we also have the great ambassadors who have, the veterans who have been with the football ecosystem and who have been great players. They would be visiting us. They would be involved as a face of our teams. As I mentioned, we are also tying up with some of the clubs, leading clubs of the world, like the Boca or some of the clubs from the Middle East, which will help us basically build this team. So this is what we are going to be looking at, the Super League Kerala, and we've started the first phase of the campaign, And soon we'll have the franchise launch, and we'll have the team launches and the drafts of the players and rest of all those things before August of this year. So these are the three venues where we will be holding. It's in Manjeri, that's in Malappuram, Kozhikode and Kochi. As of now, because of lack of good stadiums as of now, purely under floodlight. So we have three objectives. We engage the people. We have the evening matches, which makes it easy for people to come to the stadium. We have evening matches, engagement through that. And then we have, basically encashment of the brand, the sponsors and all those things, get better visibility during this course of playing. That's it. Thank you so much. And we seek your support for the success of our league. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shri Matthew Joseph, for your insights. Shri M.A. Baby, ex-minister, has joined us online. We heartily welcome you to the event, sir, and we request you to chair the session.
Hello. Hello.
Sir, കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞോളൂ sir.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, sir കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Hello.
Sir, കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് sir. നമസ്കാരം sir.
It is better because in between it went off. So they are suggesting that trying to the
Sir, you're audible, sir. You're audible now.
Can you activate it? internet issues. Now it will be. How to get out of this? Just stop. You have a mic. Hello. 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 Are you able to hear me? Hello. 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 Are you able to hear me?
Sir, you're audible, sir. Audible, sir.
My dear friends, I hope you are able to hear me. Now, I congratulate the Department of Sports, Government of Kerala, the Honorable Minister, Mr. Abdul Rahman and his team, and the Secretariat of ISSK for having taken the initiative to organize this international seminar related to sports. How sports can be made more useful to society, the people. The aphorism, the wise word is well known that a sound mind need to have a sound body. So the health of the mind and the body are equally important. You have to nurture your mind on healthy lines, and we have to nurture our body also on healthy lines. So sports is not something which is meant to create legendary athletes like Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis, Milkha Singh, and the like, or from the field of football, tennis, badminton, volleyball, various other athletic fields. We can definitely remember outstanding sportsmen and sportswomen. It is important to have outstanding sportsmen and women, but it is equally important to have sports as a culture being understood and practiced by all sections of society. आम आदमी के लिए भी sports चाहिए. Common people also should have an approach towards sports, a realization about the importance of sportsmanship, both physically and mentally. Now coming to our topic, how various partially commercial interventions in the field of sports, like Premier League, ISL, IPL, and so on, for football, for kabaddi, for hockey, for badminton. It's a recent experience in our country, India. this league system that is prevalent in Europe, mostly in Europe. The most celebrated leagues are NBA in USA and Premier League in England. Then, being a fan of Lionel Messi, I used to follow La Liga, then Bundesliga, Italian League, French League also, because Messi joined there, then I started watching. Now, I don't want to take your time because time restriction also. So far as the Indian experience, first of all, the spectator interest in various sport forms, where we started this IPL, ISL series. There is a vast spread, depth and interest among all sections of people, especially youth. Our standards have also improved because some of the internationally known sports people have started participating in our leagues. But sufficient focus and attention is not being played to nurture new generation. There is a lot of profit generated through broadcasting rights, sales of tickets, merchandise and so on and so forth. But only part of it, a very minuscule, insignificant part of it is being used for attracting adolescent boys and girls at their adolescent age. Only if you start investing in future generation, a healthy future society can be generated. So my first point is the inadequacy in investing for future, nurturing future generation. My second point in this context is the prevalence of corruption at different levels. When in anything big money is involved, corruption also will be there. So there has to be very strict internal and external auditing, oversee of the finances of this very huge commercial exercise. Now sports exercises, league arrangement, this has become something involved with big money, very huge money. My third point is that many people who don't have any genuine interest in various sports fields, they try to be in the leadership of these Premier Leagues, therefore in the leadership of various associations, so that they can control money, control power and be in the limelight. There has to be some mechanism. I do not know how this can be nurtured. There has to be some mechanism to ensure that these activities in the sports field are looked after and guided by people who are genuinely interested in the sports fields. In every association, a certain percentage should be from those who have practiced, those who have excelled in the sports. I am very thankful to the organizers for having given me this opportunity to participate in this discussion. Due to some technical problems, I could not join right in time. I do not know whether you were able to hear what I have stated. Even if you fail to hear, you did not miss anything much. Congratulating this exercise once again, I conclude. Thank you very much. All the very best. I hope there will be very good positive results from this exchange. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now I request Srimati Prerna Sharma, Director 3BL, for her presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start by thanking Kerala government for inviting us, for giving us this opportunity to be the part of this sports summit. And I would like to congratulate Kerala government for taking up this initiative to have this summit. I am Prerna Sharma presenting 3BL. I would like to start with explaining the format of the game we have a league in. I would like to explain what 3x3 is. 3x3 is a basketball format which is official medal sport. And 3x3 is a half-court game, unlike the normal basketball, which is played in the half-court by 3 players on each side, aiming to win the game by acquiring 21 points for 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute game which is played between 3 players on each side, 4th on the bench. So the rule of the game is either you play for 10 minutes and whoever have the 21 points win the game, or whoever acquired 21 points before 10 minutes, then the other team wins the game. So to put it in a simple way, I would say 3x3 is the IPL of basketball, and this is the only sport which gives individual ranking. Ranking means points to the player. So being a team sport, it gives individual ranking to each player playing in this format. And I would like to explain about our league 3BL, which has been in India since 2017. 3BL is the only league which is affiliated by FIBA. FIBA is the international body of basketball, governing body of basketball, and by BFI, which is the Basketball Federation of India. And we have executed 3 seasons till now in India. 3rd season was executed in state of Punjab, India. And now I would like for all of you to know that the social cause behind our league, how this game, the format of 3x3 and 3BL, is serving a social cause as well. 3x3 is the only format where a private body, a private entity like 3BL could assist a federation to enter or to win an Olympic medal. To qualify for Olympics in this format, a national ranking of our country has to be top 3. And to attain that ranking of top 3, individual ranking of 25 players on the top matters. So the top ranking is accumulated by the top 25 players of our country. And this ranking is acquired by a player by the number of tournaments played by that particular player. And 3BL as a league gives highest league points in the world to each player who plays for it. To give an example, in 2020, we executed the season 3 of 3BL. We kicked off that season with India ranking on the 75th number in the FIBA ranking, which is official ranking system of 3x3. And we ended that season with India ranking at number 15, which was achieved by all the players, Indian players playing in that league, by accumulating all the points acquired by those players, which made our ranking go from 75 to 15. And this game is a 10-minute game, entertaining and very fast game. It is organized in the city center or any high traffic area like a mall. So we don't need a stadium to have this format. And now I would like all of you to watch a small clip of our season T for you to better understand that what we did and what we have been doing in India. Thank you.
It's the bearded king, man, y'all better stand up. 3BL, man, get your damn hands up. 3BL, man, get your damn hands up. 3BL, man, this the damn anthem.
It all started with a group of boys playing basketball. It all started with the passion they had for basketball. It all started with Mr. Rohit Bakshi wanted to do something for the country, to do something for the kids who love sports but they don't have a platform.
I started playing 5-on-5 when I was 12 years old, and I came across 3x3 in 2015.
The exciting part to it is it's like quick, solid action, like how T20 is in cricket, so it's like a fast-paced game.
It's way different because you're supposed to be more agile, more quick and way faster because you have only 10 minutes to like showcase all your abilities.
India has a lot of talent to offer, but it's just that they require a platform. They need something to look up to. They need something to train for throughout the year. That's when I first thought that India requires a league.
Hi, my name is Ari and I play for Pune Panthers.
Welcome all, here we start the season.
Welcome Team Mumbai Heroes, everybody.
Dropping it to Big, and Big takes it to the hoop and makes a first shot off the glass. It's exciting that 3BL has been able to give them that platform to shine and express themselves and be the best versions they can be.
ये बहुत अच्छा फॉर्मेट शुरू हुआ है. आगे चलता रहा तो बास्केटबॉल बहुत फेमस हो जाएगी इस इंडिया में.
It's a street sport, so it makes it very entertaining. You will see women doing athletics and doing different kind of things at the court. It brings the drama in and emotions and, you know, so it builds, it is like a movie, a 10-minute movie. Which is built across the game.
Thank you for your time.
So, thank you so much, Srimati Prerana Sharma. I request Shri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki, founder UBL No Scope Gaming, for his presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I firstly want to thank the Government of Kerala and Sport Minister to giving us the opportunity to talk and share a success story of the league we found. So I'd like to request sir to play the first video. Excuse me. So UBA stands for United Basketball Association Alliance, which I started long back, and here's the promo for that. So here's the promo. So I'll just go back in my life where we started a league. My background, I'm a professional baseball coach and a character for Walt Disney movie called $1 Million Arm. While I was getting trained in US, I found that we have AIU in India and at the same time we have NCAA in US. But in AIU, what I found is that the games are never been telecasted, never been shown or anything. So while my journey towards building a league in India, I traveled to Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi. And I found that the courts were all cemented court and everything was like maze over there. So altogether, what we thought is that how about starting a basketball league for the university level first. And we successfully hosted the first basketball league in Satyababa University, which was, I can say, the world's biggest university championship, in which more than 740 universities participated for the World National Championship. So the idea came that there is nothing happening right now for the basketball players in India apart from nationals or Asian Games or anything. So how about getting all the university players to play for the professional league? And that's how the dream started to be a professional league. We successfully had around 7 seasons played with foreign players as well as Indian players, and I'm proudly, I can say, the founder of 3BL was one of my member in my Haryana team. So it's good to see he's doing great right now. So that's how we came so far with the journey. The lessons I learned, like the basic lessons which all we hear in our life, like everyone knows the story about rabbit and tortoise. The lesson we learned was slow and steady wins the race. So we were quite slow, but we were on the right direction. But that is the one version which everyone knows. The second version was that after the race, rabbit said that let's have a race again and we will compete again and just see who is better than us. So the race started. Rabbit learned the lesson. I should not underestimate the opponent, and he won the race. So the same thing what we did is that we never underestimated the things what we are doing. We were working with the federation, we were working with the universities, and my most target was the university players to come on the board. So the lessons learned from A to B. Then there was a third version which I learned was after winning, rabbit won one race, tortoise won race. So there should be a finals between us. So tortoise said, okay, let's do a final, and this time I'll plan the route and you have to be the part of that. So rabbit was overconfident, okay, let's do it. So tortoise formed the route, and he said that the race started, and while the route there was a river between that. So rabbit runs very fast, stopped on the river, he can't swim. Tortoise came slowly, he crossed the river and won the race. So the lesson was learned, we should always work on the strongest link what we have. And the strongest link what we had for the basketball league was the university players, because they were never recognized by anyone. Just imagine like a kid playing for his whole life, but no one knows him. So my dream started to be, why don't we have a LeBron James of India? Why don't we have a Michael Jordan of India? So you can see in the trailer what we saw, the TJ Shai, he was a dunk champion in India. So we wanted to make an Indian athletes, Indian basketball players to be heroes. So that was the lesson, like my strengths were what. So the lesson learned for me was like, yes, I need to focus on my core team, my Indian players, and we have a very unique players like Narendra Grewal from Air Force. He shoots with one hand. So the unique players, and moreover, the fan following started coming up. I was invited in Hall of Fame by NBA for my league, where we represented UBA. And the fourth lesson, which was a very unique lesson which I learned, was like after the race, rabbit and tortoise become good friends, buddies. And they said that let's have a race again. But this time, when they were racing, tortoise was on the rabbit's back on the land. And when the tortoise was in the river, rabbit was on the tortoise's back. So thing is that we should combine, we should bridge with the players, with the association, with the companies, with the sponsors to have a good bonding so we can foster the things ahead in the right way. So that's how the UBA was very successful. Eventually we can't continue because of the financial things, but yes, we changed the scenario of basketball in India. Any player right now who knows basketball will definitely know UBA, because har ghar mein there was basketball, and I'm very proud to say that I had around 29 players from Kerala and 3 coaches, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Sudeep and Mr. Sunny. They were the 3 top coaches and players from Kerala who were the part of my league. Now, the lesson learned from all the 4 elements, I thought that what is the next to be done and what is the biggest next thing in India and globally. That comes the gaming. So can you play the second video?
your time to win.
So, no scope gaming is the next future and my next dream in India. So right now, we see online gaming, we see online league and everything, but who are playing in those leagues? Only the professionals. There is no school in India or abroad where the kids can be trained to be a professional gamer. So that's what the no scope gaming is all about. We want to develop a system, an ecosystem in India where kids can follow their dreams, foster their things in the right way to do right things, and create good memories for everyone tomorrow. So in coming couple of months, we'll be hosting the first ever virtual tennis national championship in Kerala in TTC Stadium. So that will be a kind of a unique experience moving forward to build a league for virtual tennis in India. I thank everyone to listen me because this was the last moment thing which I was invited over here. But yes, India has a great potential, and I believe, like, I traveled all over globe and I found the Kerala government is so active to take things in the right way. Like, this is the first government who has invited an esports gaming to be a part of a summit where they want to change the scenario of India. And I'm very proud to say there is a team called Blinds. They're the nationals #1 team. And the gaming is growing hugely. So there's a big prospects with the traditional games, with the no-scope gaming also, and moreover, we will be focusing on the rehab programs which we have for the athletes, because everyone wants to win, but there's the injury part also in the game. So the lesson was learned that there should be something which will not break the leg, not injure the endurance and everything, and they get trained virtually. So the lessons which I learned, I'm trying to implement in the coming leagues in a couple of months, and I hope the Kerala can be the big center to get started with a new journey for esports in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solanki. Now I request Shri Partha Acharya, sports journalist, MD, PR Solution, to share his thoughts.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. The honorable guest in the dais and respected audience, good afternoon to all. I don't have any presentation with me. I'm not a good speaker. Actually, my work to ask the question, because I worked as a reporter. Before this summit, there was a online summit, 15-day summit, and I'm so lucky I host that summit with so many individuals, sports individuals, and the personalities. About the Kerala, in my childhood, I read that the #1 educated state is Kerala. My daughter is sitting there, and now she's studying that same thing. So this is Kerala, and I saw Bijayan and Anchiri was there. I give you one example. I will go to the subject before that. During the natural calamities of Kerala, that time I am so lucky, I organized one match in Kolkata, and before the match day, Bijayan get badly injured and he had 8 stitches on his knee. But the commitment of the legend, Bijayan traveled there on the field and he encouraged all the players, and we are so lucky we contribute a few for the Kerala's Chief Minister Relief Fund that time. Regarding the league, statistics always good to hear. We can give you the statistics. I worked as a reporter more than 25 years. I know the reality. Maximum time I cover the football sector, and I know the passion of Kerala people. They love football. There is so many plans. There is so many presentation. 2047, there is a roadmap made by the All India Football Federation. It's really good to hear every time. But the unfortunate and practical scenario is, unfortunately the practical scenario is, in football, there is no such sponsor. Because in the game, like cricket or hockey, they have their sponsor because of the success of the game. Football, I saw, I visited so many states. I have now my own media and broadcasting company, and my colleagues, they are doing live for this event. They are working last 3 days here. I saw that there is no such sponsor or corporate to help the state association to develop their league. The state league is the main, I think this is the main route to, identify the players. They are the supply line. If the state don't have the league, then it's difficult to get the players. So for the development of the sports, we need a sustainable, one league where the association get the sponsorship, they can run, and we can find the players. Unfortunately, in India, there is few states who run the leagues, like Kerala, like Bengal, like Goa, the few states, and the Northeast also. But other states, they are, they are looking for the sponsorship, they are searching the sponsor. From my company, I try to support some state. In Goa, after 10 years, we start the broadcasting. We help them to get the sponsorship. Because I think before the league, we need a few things to develop the league, because of football, there is no such, corporates. Yes, AIFF are doing the so many things. They are doing the ISL, I-League. That's right. But the state league, where you find the players, you need the sponsorship. So I believe if the state association, they tie up with any sports management college, because there is no concept for the sports marketing. I don't find anyone who is doing the sports marketing thing in India. Yes, there is some corporate sector, they are introducing their league for the business model, but there is no such person who is doing the club marketing or the state league marketing. And there should be one more thing. When you run the league, the senior team play the matches, and after next day, there should be a junior league. I give you one example. There is a Iceland, I forget the name, maybe it's silly, it's nearby UK. There is only 2 teams, the smallest football league in the world. Only 2 teams participate the league, and they played 18 times each other. So that is the smallest league in the world. And if the state association organize the league with the junior league, and this is the time we conceive the, we lost the matches against the teams like Asian teams, like Japan, like UAE, and we get appreciated, we get proud that we are not conceiving 5 goals, we conceive only 2 goals. No, it's very negative approach. From my childhood, I read the article on the newspaper. There's India conceiving 2 goals, India conceiving 3 goals. When we read the India beat them and won against Japan or the strong countries. So we have to change our mind, we have to focus, and this is the right time to choose the kids from the state level and send them to top league in the world. Yes, it's impossible because of the ranking. We can play in lower division in the European leagues. That can be changed the Indian football. And I believe this is a time where the people don't have the time to sit and watch the TV for the league. I think this is a digital age. So the league should be telecasted on OTT platform, because then the state association gets some revenues. They don't have the sponsor. So that can be one way, I think. And other thing I feel always, the Kerala football, 7-8 football is most popular game here. So I believe in future I can see FIFA give the permission to, if anyone apply from here for the 7-8 World Cup, I believe Kerala is the right place to organize the 7-8 World Cup in future. And I believe the football can be changed if the state association take the strong decision, and the other, because we are not here to, hear that India consuming 2 goals, 3 goals. We want to hear the India beat the strong countries, then the scenario will be changed. So it can be happen through the league. If the state association make their proper planning, then it can be happen. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Before opening up the floor for question and answer session, I would like to summarize. The session started with a thought-provoking statement. If you win, you will have dinner with family, and if you lose, you will be the dinner. Then we went on to discuss the importance of language, a necessity of a pro-business environment, involvement of celebrities, 360 engagement of audience. We also deliberated on need to focus on new generation, their choices, eradication of corruption and other malpractices in the sports field. We also spoke about importance of bonding among various stakeholders that are involved in the league. And all the speakers unanimously agreed on sustainability, inclusivity and innovativeness. It was a very intense session with a lot of passion. Thank you to all the speakers for your valuable insights. Now we'll open up the floor for a question and answer session. Any questions? Yeah, there's a question.
Okay, my name is Rosina Iqbal. I'm coming from Sports Management and Research Institute. So I have a question to Solangi sir. Why Indian Association are not promoting European model open league? Why are we going behind American model closed league?
Hi. It's a good question, like why Indian Association is not promoting the European model. See, we are a diverse country, and most important thing is every sports facility and the infrastructure with the university. Just tell me how many universities in India have a cricket ground or a soccer ground. Important is that wherever we go, we suit ourselves according to our condition. So most important thing is that in Europe, the market is open, the football is at the next level, the universities want to do the things. But in India, there's a tradition called like, if I'm an athlete, I'll not ask my son to go be an athlete earlier because he wants to be a doctor or engineer. The things are changing right now. Indian Association, universities, I'm the first person who telecasted the basketball for AIU on the 10 Sports Live. And it was commentated by the Lakers dunk champion Cedric Ceballos. So it's not that it's not changing. The things is, it will change, it will take some time. We are on a track. We are developing the infrastructure as we are expecting to be hosting an Olympic in 2036. So things are moving. It will come eventually to Kerala as well, and you will see the changes. So it's not that we are not trying, the things are moving, and the biggest example you can see is Khelo India. So Khelo India has the university structure, they have a school structure, they have a youth, they have the master's structure also. So we are slow, but we are in the right direction to take things in the right direction ahead. Got it?
Thank you. Any other questions? So we'll wind up the session. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the end of this session. Lessons from the leagues. So I think that we have to learn a lot of lessons from the leagues. So it needs a lot of adaptability, flexibility in our current system, as our speakers have already discussed with us. So we have to develop our infrastructure and other comprehensive technologies and techniques to cope up with the latest trends in the sports arena and the sports world. So now we have the concluding session, the token of presentation of love and gratitude from the part of International Sports Summit, Kerala. To present the mementos, we have the guest of honor, Sri Anil Kumar, President, District Sports Council, Pathanamthitta. I request Sri Anil Kumar, sir, to present the memento to the guests of this session. First, I would like to invite Madam Meghasri IAS, Director, SCST Department, Government of Kerala. Please, Madam. Sri Matthew Joseph, CEO, Scoreline. Srimati Prerna Sharma, Director, 3BL. Sri Preta Acharya, Sports Journalist and MD of PR Solution. Sri Deepesh Indrapal Solanki, Founder, UBL and No Scope Gaming. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sri Anil Kumar. And to conclude this session, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude all the dignitaries present on the dais and the audience for a very valuable and fruitful discussion. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
So thank you so much, everyone, and that was the session on lessons from the leagues, and that was an amazing session, definitely. And please accept these mementos as a token of gratitude, as a token of remembrance from our side. So once again, heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed guests on the panel for your views, your perspectives, your contribution to the topic lessons from the leagues. Definitely, that was really beautiful. So once again, we all are witnessing the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, extending from 23rd of January to 26th of January. And we just completed the session on lessons from the leagues, and once again, heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed guests for your wonderful session. And now, we are going to take a lunch break and requesting everyone to be back after the lunch break at sharp 1:30 p.m. We will be taking a lunch break for now and requesting everybody to be back in the hall at sharp 1:30 p.m. and we will be continuing with the session. Once again, we are going to take a lunch break now and requesting everybody to be back in the hall at sharp 1:30 p.m. and we will be continuing with the session. Thank you so much.